We are now on day 35 of the Democrat government shutdown. The Democrats' obstructionism will break the record for the longest government shutdown in American history tonight. The Democrats are intentionally hurting American families, workers, and businesses with this shutdown to fight for free health care for illegal aliens and to appease their radical left-wing base. And it's a total disgrace. This past weekend, Americans traveling to weddings, funerals, vacations, and meetings faced significant flight disruptions at airports across the country because of staffing shortages. On Sunday alone, more than 5,000 flights traveling to and from U.S. airports were delayed. Since the Democrat shutdown began, 4 times as many staffing shortages have been reported at air traffic control facilities compared to last year. TSA checkpoint wait times ballooned past 3 hours at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport, with some passengers enduring up to 5 hours in line. More than 13,000 air traffic controllers are continuing to work without pay. Because of the Democrats, these men and women who keep our airspace safe and moving will miss a second paycheck in a row this Friday if Democrats refuse to open the government. Let me be clear to our incredible air traffic controllers across the country. President Trump and Republicans want you to get your paychecks. They want you to be paid. Please call on your Democrat senators and tell them to side with President Trump and Republicans to vote to reopen the government. Nearly 500 companies and groups in the travel business, including casinos, hotels, and convention bureaus, signed a public letter warning that America's travel economy has already lost $4 billion due to this Democrat shutdown, and they have called for the Republican CR to be passed, saying Americans expect and deserve a fully functioning federal government during the peak holiday travel season. Never before have we seen private industry and union leadership so unified on the same issue, rallying behind Republicans in such a vocal way. The Democrats have completely lost the plot. They are endangering the safety, prosperity, and livelihoods of millions of Americans. It's well past time Democrats do what they did 13 times under Joe Biden and pass the clean funding bill extension. All we need are 5 Democrat senators to put country over party and vote to end this reckless shutdown.
Let's talk about the shutdown, the government shutdown. The US government shutdown is set to become the longest one ever, dragging on for 36 days. Democrats have voted 14 times against a bill that would reopen the government, and Karoline Leavitt has blasted the Democrats over this.
The administration is encouraging Democrats to reopen the federal government so this chaos and disruption to our air traffic control system in the United States of America stops. It is ridiculous that we have even gotten to this place and that the Democrats have continued to shut down the government with 35 days, our air traffic controllers continuing to work unpaid, every single major airline in our country coming out and begging the Democrats to please reopen the government.
James, yesterday 46% of flight delays, I should say, were due to staffing issues in air traffic control towers. So it seems like this is only getting worse, and it seems as though plenty of Americans really see through the Democrats here, that they are using this as leverage.
Yeah, the polling is showing that the Democrats aren't doing well out of this issue. You know, traditionally Democrats have shut down the government and they've used it as a way to say, oh, look at these terrible Republicans. This time they've done it, and the polls actually are showing it's worse for the Democrats than it is for the Republicans. And that's really interesting because it shows that their messaging just simply isn't landing. And people understand, you know, that in America, and just people in Australia need to understand too, it's not 50%, it's 60% to get a budget resolution through the Senate. Don't ask me why it is. It's complicated. It's just there. So even though the Republicans have a bare majority in the Senate, they can't pass a spending bill without help of the Democrats. And they're the ones completely are holding this up.
James, let's turn to California's Proposition 50, Gavin Newsom's controversial redistricting attempt, which would temporarily redraw the state's electoral maps in a way that could help Democrats flip 5 congressional seats in the 2026 midterms. Now, Donald Trump has slammed this. He wrote on Truth Social, the unconstitutional redistricting vote in California is a giant scam in that the entire process, in particular, the voting itself, is rigged. All mail-in ballots, whether Republicans in that state are shut out, is under very serious legal and criminal review. Stay tuned. What do you make of what is happening in California and Trump's warning there?
Well, what you got to see is that this is all about Gavin Newsom trying to set himself up as the anti-Trump for the 2028 election. So this is what this is about. So he's picking fights with Trump on absolutely every ground he can, including this whole plan that Trump has to basically redraw congressional districts because, frankly, in a lot of states, you know, they're really, really lopsided. So Democrats not only get too many representatives in Congress, but also that means that, you know, the electoral votes are also misdrawn, because if the census numbers are incorrect, then people are getting the wrong seats, you know, in the wrong states. So there's 2 levels to this here. Newsom is, of course, trying to draw this huge distinction with Trump on this. But the fact is that California's districts are already a bit of a scandal. I mean, the percentage of people who vote Republican in that state versus the percentage of their congressional delegation that goes to Washington that's Republican is scandalously lopsided, probably only worse in states like Massachusetts.